it was an analogy that I couldn't even fathom. I had the metaphor, but it was a meteor that destroyed the planet, but it was really for the new beginning. Because everything is everything and all energy exists. I had to be persistent because I had to assist.
That's a strong word, bro, but I felt like for a while that shit was a strong word. It was a had to, it was a have to.
Yeah.
It was a must do.
Right.
Ain't nobody ever really give me a choice, you know what I'm saying?
See, I'm glad you said that, because like the other day I was freestyling, bro, and it was like I literally started crying because it's like I was rapping, and you know, in my mindset, ever since my son was born, even before that, it's like young king, young king, young king. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I was rapping, I was about to say that, but then I didn't even get to verbalize it before in my mind it registered totally different.
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say young king, but then I was like, hold up, and this is what I verbalized. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna put that on you. You ain't gonna be a young king. You a prince, because you don't gotta be a young king, because I already did that. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody should have to be a young king, bro. Yeah. Nobody should have to be a king before it's time to be a king. Because that, like they say, that the heavy is the head that wears the crown is a fact. Like,
this is
claiming and becoming a king, it comes with pressures. It's not just for fun. It's not just this thing that, it comes with a lot of pressures and outlooks that, like you said, there's no choice. Like, we didn't choose that shit. Like, I didn't choose to have that mindset, bro. But that shit came with a lot of burdens, with shit that I had to deal with, and it's not my pressure, but it was my pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like, it technically it wasn't supposed to be, but it was meant for me.
It came with responsibility. It wasn't yours. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Responsibility, especially as a dude that really, like, any type of dude that's worth the fuck. I ain't judging, but like, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? But any dude that really like is true to himself or his values, you know what I'm saying, when given the opportunity or like the situation, responsibility has to be taken. Like, even if it's done in the wrong way, a nigga's gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like,
exactly.
Like that's why you were saying, like, having to be a king before you're supposed to.
Right.
Like, listen, dog.
Exactly.
That's why when like I be thinking about it, when you say had to, like, people will like not even really think about that sentence. They'll think about the end sentence of what you were saying.
Right.
But really, it's how you said it. Like, and that's how the world works.
Exactly.
That's how the world works, because it was a have to.
Right.
Like, it was like that, dog.
Seriously.
That's like another reason why I'm like so glad I didn't have kids. But like, even on that note, nigga, I'll tell you, I haven't told really nobody, dog. I got a call at work the other day. I'm working. I'm chefing up shit. I'm on the clock. You know, nigga, I stay earning, but then this bitch is on my line. I'm like, damn, she's probably just yearning. Not even knowing that a little bit later I'll be learning that she had a miscarriage. I didn't even know she had a baby. Damn, I was fucking with this bitch for a long time. I was going crazy. This shit's scary. Fuck I'ma do? Man, fuck I'ma do? Yo, that's crazy, dog. And I was fucking with shorty for a minute. But like, she didn't even tell me till that shit was gone, and I already had that shit happen to me, so that shit already like irked me in a certain type of way. But like, my first impression, and back to this have to shit, bro, my first thing, my words out of my mouth was, are you okay? Even though I know I wasn't. And that's like, it stuck out to me now. I never used to when I was younger, but it stuck out to me, even though I was hurting, to ask somebody else if they were okay first. And I'm not entirely sure if that's a flaw or not, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. So like, what would you say is your top 2 flaws, like of your own person in your view?
My level of understanding is probably a flaw of mine, because if I understand something, even if you cross me, I'm not indifferent about it, because I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna be
like
mad.
You understand what the world
Listen,
is.
you get a puppy, that nigga bites you on accident, you ain't gonna be mad at the puppy.
Right.
You understand that he's a puppy.
Right.
You feel me? Even though he did hurt you, you drew blood,
Yeah.
whatever, like, you understand that he's a puppy.
Right.
So that indifference goes away a little bit, it smooths out. That's what I mean by that.
Right.
And really, I care too much, probably. Or maybe not even that, deeper than that, because that comes before or after. Like, I think too deeply about things. Even if I'm right, that shit does not work in real life. Like, being able to pick apart shit, being intelligent, like, you always run into walls, which I'm fine with because I'd rather not be the latter, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like that ruins a lot of shit for me. The way that I think, even though I know it's a blessing at the same time that I'm intelligent like I am. So that's probably.
What do you think is more important, to be mentally healthy or to be successful?
In today's world, that's a loaded question because I feel like success comes with mental clarity. It comes with mental health because, especially as a dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, success is measured sometimes with your worth, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's always the case for me, but, like, as a man in general, that's kind of how it goes. So, I mean, I would like to say, I mean, I know riches is not in the money in the pocket, you know what I mean? And I believe that wholeheartedly, but I also feel like I'm like a fairy tale nigga. Like, I believe in that shit. But
Right.
I know it doesn't exist in my time.
Right,
anymore.
like you could go like 32 years of like misfortune and heartache, but then the rest of your life could be, you know, beautiful in a sense that you ain't even never depict or imagine, which is, you know, kind of that outlook of the fairy tale. Like, yeah, Cinderella ain't always gonna be, you know, mistreated. Like,
the way I look at it is everything has, like, you can call it an opposite, a reflection, a counterpart, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Counterpart.
So even if shit is bad, there's always a counterpart to balance that out. I believe that everything balances out in somewhere.
Right.
So even if I don't reach this counterpart, that is the
you
counter.
know you're part of it.
It's a possibility to become this counterpart, because if
Right.
it gets this bad, it can be this good type shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if I don't get there, I know there's a possibility
Right.
that this shit gonna flip because there's an opposite. You know what I mean?
And when you're a great person, you even carry the weight because you know that you're carrying it for that counterpart to be able to breathe how they do and to be able to achieve what they do, because, you know, without you there would be no them, because then there would be no balance.
I lied, bro. Check this out. One of my biggest flaws is, bro, I lie to people for people.